Fenrir. Fenrir is the elderly and sick wolf of Atreus and Kratos. After his death, Atreus casts a spell that transfers his soul to his knife. During the fight with Garm, Atreus inserts his soul to the former prisoner of Helheim, changing its nature and resurrecting Fenrir, who aids them during the events of Ragnarok and after them. Norse mythology. In Norse mythology, Fenrir is one of 3 children of Loki and the female Jotun Angerboa, his other siblings being Hel and Jormungandr. All of them were born in Jotunheim. Once the gods found out about their existence, they began to fear them, as there were prophesied that these 3 siblings would bring great misfortune upon the gods due to nature of both of their parents, their father Loki in particular. Subsequently, Odin commanded the other gods to journey into Jotunheim and bring the 3 siblings to him. When they arrived in Asgard, Odin proceeded to throw Jormungandr into the ocean of Midgard and banish Hel to Helheim after giving her authority over the dead. Fenrir, however, was kept in Asgard, but inspired such fear in the gods that only Tyr was brave enough to approach the wolf and give him food. The gods noticed that Fenrir was rapidly growing bigger with every passing day, which only made them more fearful of him due to the prophecy that the wolf would bring them great harm. Thus, they decided to try and imprison Fenrir. The gods then forged the fetter, chain, lading. Bringing the chain to the wolf, the Aesir suggested he test his strength with it. Judging that the chain was not beyond his strength, Fenrir let the gods bind him with it. With the first kick, the binding snapped and the wolf freed himself. The gods then forged a second chain twice as strong as lading, which they named Dromi. Confident that this chain would imprison the wolf, they once again approached him. Claiming that he would achieve great fame for his strength should the wolf break of this binding, Fenrir once again allowed the gods to place the fetter on him, noting that the chain was indeed very strong and that he needed to take risks to earn great fame. Fenrir strained hard against the fetter, eventually breaking it into many pieces which flew off into the distance. Fearing that they could not bind the wolf giant, Odin commissioned some dwarves to make an unbreakable binding that Fenrir could not escape from. The dwarves then crafted a chain using 6 mystical ingredients: the footfall of a cat, the beard of a woman, the roots of a mountain, the sinews of a bear, the breath of a fish and the spittle of a bird. The resulting binding was as soft silk ribbon and was named Gleipnir. After it was delivered to the Aesir, they took Fenrir out onto an island called Lyngvi, which lay in the middle of a lake called Svartner, pitch black. There, the gods presented Gleipnir to Fenrir, stating that despite the chain looking like a silk ribbon, even the gods could not tear it, and demonstrated this by pulling at the fetter with all of their might, but it did not break. However, the Jotun became suspicious due to the deceptive appearance of the chain and refused to let himself be bound, stating that he believed the ribbon was made with art and trickery. However, the gods appealed to his ego, stating that Fenrir could easily break such a pitiful silken strip, as he had broken 2 great iron bonds made by the gods themselves previously. They also added on, that if Fenrir was not able to break the silken binds, then it would be very clear to them that Fenrir was no threat to be feared at all and he would be set free immediately. Fenrir, still suspicious, responded that he would only allow himself to be bound if one of the gods present put their hand in his mouth as a show of good faith. If he could break free of the chain, all would be well, but if he did not, the god would loose their hand. Hearing this, the gods looked amongst themselves, knowing that someone had to sacrifice their hand to the wolf if he was to be imprisoned forever, but none of them were willing to do so. Tyr then silently stepped up and placed his right hand inside the wolf's jaws, after which Fenrir allowed the Aesir to bind him once again. As Fenrir kicked and thrashed to free himself, Gleipnir only grew stronger and tighter. Seeing that the wolf was finally imprisoned, all of the gods laughed except Tyr, who lost his right hand to an enraged Fenrir. The gods then took singular cord called Jelgja, fetter, which hung from Gleipnir, and fed it through the stone slab Jol, resounding, and fastened it deep into the ground, after which they put another great rock Thvitai, batterer, on top of it to act as an anchoring peg. Further enraged, Fenrir attempted to bite the gods, who then thrust a sword into his upper jaw, so he could not close his mouth. And there they left him, to remain bound like his father until the coming of Ragnarok, where he will break free and join his family in the final battle against the Aesir on the field of Vgrr, where he will fight Odin and kill him, before being killed shortly after by Var. In the God of War series. At some point in Fimbulwinter, Fenrir was found by Kratos and Atreus along with Spiki and Svanna, with the boy developing a deep fondness for him. Fenrir was already quite old, with his age leaving him in very poor health. Atreus truly believed that with enough care and effort he would recover, but Fenrir's health would only continue to deteriorate until the boy could no longer deny it. Fenrir passed away in Atreus' lap as he did his best to comfort him in his final moments, although the boy did not realize he was inadvertently transferring the wolf's soul into his knife while doing so. Grief-stricken Atreus soon left to bury him somewhere in the woods. During their time together in Ironwood, Angrboda realized that Fenrir's soul was stored in Atreus' knife, something he himself was entirely unaware of. Despite his pleas, Angrboda felt it best not to tell him of the soul's identity, saying he would figure it out in time. Fenrir was resurrected by Atreus in Helheim, when the latter used his knife bearing the wolf's soul to strike Garm's body, transplanting his soul into the soulless beast. Scared and confused, Fenrir would run away scared, until Kratos and Atreus found him whimpering in a cave. After calming him, Fenrir revealed himself, affectionately licking Atreus and obeying Kratos' command to sit. After Kratos ordered to return back to the house, Fenrir then displayed his new ability to tear rifts in the dimensional fabric, creating a portal back to Midgard. Atreus would soon entrust Fenrir's ownership and well-being to Angrboda, as she was better skilled to handle caring for the now giant wolf. Appearance. Fenrir appears to be an ordinary wolf with gray, and white, and dense fur, with vivid hazel irises and light brown pupils. The fur on the right side of his face was discolored a bright white. After his soul is transplanted into the body of Garm, the latter's body is transformed into an oversized version of Fenrir's original form. Powers and abilities. As a reborn giant hellhound, Fenrir is one of the most powerful beings in all the realms, having enough power to tear holes between the realms. Immense strength. Fenrir has tremendous levels of vast superhuman strength, being capable of destroying Odin's war machines with ease and scatter Odin's forces. Immense durability. Fenrir, as a colossal wolf, has immense levels of superhuman durability. Interdimensional rift creation. After being resurrected into the body of Garm, Fenrir gained the ability to tear rifts to travel between realms.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.